Hey everybody, Derek Brown here with another BEATBoX SAX Tuesday tutorial for you all. Today's lesson, we're going to be talking about a thing that I call, for lack of a better term, Overtone Glissandos. Of course, glissando being a big pitch bend that you'll hear a lot of wind instruments do. The most famous one probably being the Clarinet Glissando at the beginning of George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. This big and so forth. So yeah, there's different ways of doing glissandos on different instruments. For instance, the clarinet has open tone holes. You can kind of bend your fingers off, also penny whistles as well. With the saxophone, however, because of our thick keys, the most common way is just all with the mouth and with the voicing of your tongue. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And all is going to really come down to your control of the Overtone series. And if you haven't done work on the Overtone series, I would say stop watching this video. Check out my other video I have. Look up on YouTube, Overtone series, BEATBoX SAX. I talk about that. Lots of other videos. It's a very, very important technique for any genre of sax playing, the Overtone series. And that's where you finger one note, but you can actually play kind of the harmonics or the overtones above each note. So if I play the low B flat, without moving my fingers, and you can just keep going up and up as long as you want to work on that. So check out that stuff. So basically with this Overtone Glissando, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing that low note, and then I'm going to be slurring up the Overtone series. Now, it's much easier when you're practicing those overtones to kind of to re-tongue or kind of set your tongue as you do each note. And that's because your tongue kind of needs to go to a different position to get those notes out, kind of different layers of intensity. And as I'm doing this big bend, I'm basically doing this with my tongue. The back of my tongue is arching way up, and it's going really high, like making an E, but and it's not passively just going. Not just passively, it's actively just kind of almost squeezing the air so it has to just fly through between my tongue and the roof of my mouth, like pressing down on a hose. Once again, check out that video to get and just work on those so much to get comfortable with that. Because then slurring in between is even harder. And I find that it's actually not too difficult to slur between the upper ones because it's just the slightest little movement. But except going from that lowest fundamental pitch, the note that you're fingering, like the low B flat, to just getting into those overtones is the hardest part by far. So as far as the upper tones, if I just finger this low B flat and do some of these overtones, not too difficult. Another way you can practice these is just using the mouthpiece itself. A lot of people will use this for tuning or just tone practice. And just seeing how much of a range you can get. See how much you can bend the pitch. And so forth. Can you play songs? And so it's not just the lips. The lips are barely moving at all. It's not just going. If you do that, the pitch is going to drop. The pitch might drop a tiny bit, but it's just going to stop. You've got to get used to that tongue position being back and moving that forward or backward or up and down. Experiment with how that best works for you. And once again, this is a technique that takes a lot of work. It's kind of combining a few different things. So if I put this idea of bending the overtones onto these low notes, if I start from the beginning, play a low B flat, what I'm trying to do is, can I slur just getting into some of those overtones? And it'll sound maybe like this. Or if I do it on a different note, C. Now you can hear when I'm doing this, I'm actually not trying to just go da and go up. I like the sound of that kind of blending. You can hear the upper note kind of starts to come in while the low note's still there, and it has this kind of distortion sound. And I think that's really cool. That kind of gives it that didgeridoo effect, and the fact that it's more just kind of slowly blending in to go way up for the gliss. So see if you can do that, and maybe even just practice playing a low note and just trying to get some upper notes in the overtones to pop out while you're still keeping that low note. Then once you go higher, it's just gonna become the overtone note and go up. So here's the full thing. Do it on a low B flat. And then you can start moving up the notes. Do a B natural. Do it on a C. See how many notes you can do that on. And then try to aim for speed and control and consistency. And so forth. So a lot of fun, really cool technique, but very difficult. So work on those overtones. Work on just using that mouthpiece to drop the pitch up and down, and just slowly start to think about incorporating this idea. So that is Overtone Glissandos. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Once again, check out my website, Derek Brown Sax, for more info, and definitely subscribe to BEATBoX SAX on YouTube for more of these weekly tutorials. And I'll see you in the future. Take care.